So, time now for our first guest. Shots of Fame TV show Over the Rainbow, and wide audiences playing Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz at the London Palladium. She recently finished the run. I say recently, it's been a year. Finished the run as opening in legendary Les Mis, and is preparing for a very own solo gig at the Delphant Rooms. Please welcome Danielle Hope. There we go. That's your official introduction.
Thank you.
Welcome to the programme. Let me bring
Thank you for having me.
First question, is this your first time in London's prestigious Joe Allen's restaurant?
It is not, no. I love this place. I spent a lot of time when I first lived here in this area, so it's a bit of the heart, I think, of West End, isn't it?
And I have to say, they're very lovely to us because, we've had a few funny looks over the weeks or months from regular punters, but it's actually from Monday night, it's actually quite nice and busy. It's a good vibe.
Yeah, it's lovely. Great vibe here.
Thank you so much for coming in. Listener questions we've already asked for. Let me just do a shout out again. If you have a question for Danielle Hope, star of The Wizard of Oz and Les Miserables, then please do get in touch with us at Radio Giblets on Twitter or go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/Radio Giblets. Let's talk, shall we, of course, about Over the Rainbow. I know that was a big thing for you.
Yeah.
That was the last of the BBC's casting programmes.
Yeah.
And also, it must feel like an age ago now.
Yeah, it was 4 years ago this May, so it was, it really feels like a really long time, but also as if it was last week. It's one of those amazing experiences that never leaves you, and the friends that you make and the things you learn, and I cherish all of the memories of that and everything that it gave me now and the people that I met.
Which is great.
Oh.
But also, it is still incredible if you think about the fact that actually what they're expecting all of you guys to do is to stand up there every week on live television, sing your heart out to the nation, and I guess just deal with it, because it must have been. I mean, it must have been a massive bubble when you're in it. But looking back on it, it's like the amount of energy, the amount of sort of just, I don't know, like it must have been incredible.
Yeah, I mean, everyone talks about this bubble, and I guess you don't see any of that because what you're experiencing of the programme is just what you see and what is live, and I guess you just deal with what's thrown at you, and the dream was always to go and do live performances in live theatre, so the fact that it was live television was like, great, okay, this is something that we do and we want to do. And the cameras and the studio audiences, and that's something that I don't know if I ever would have had the opportunity to learn in my career had I managed to get into a drama school and go through that path. So I'm really thankful, and it was a really crazy time. But I learned a lot.
I would have thought that by that point, when you got to the final, and I guess a lot of the girls who didn't win, must have kind of gone, there must have been a slight relief, because I guess once you finish a process like that, you kind of do just want a bit of downtime, whereas of course you winning, which was amazing, meant you're pretty much straight into rehearsals for Wizard of Oz.
I remember we did like a rehearsal for the winner before we all had to go, and it was like choreographed, you take the shoes and you do this and you go up on the fourth step and you'd sing this verse and you'd get into the balloon and you'd go up. But because of everything was kind of happening around me in slow motion, I remember I went up, and this is probably the most mortifying thing I've ever done. And I went up, and Andrew was like, gracefully taking the shoes from the glass bowl where they'd been for the past 2 months, and I just took them off him, put them on my feet because they were like 2 sizes too small because they'd averaged all the girls' sizes.
Oh, really?
But I was just kind of like, work brain was on. I was like, right, okay, the work doesn't stop here. You've got a job to do now. This is brilliant. But what have they told you to do? Where am I supposed to stand? Which one's the fourth step? And all of that was going through my head. And I haven't watched any of it back, but I think if I would, I'd just be laughing because I would see my brain ticking. But I think when I was actually in the balloon and looking down, and the kind of cameras went off, and it was like, wow, okay, real work starts now. This is where life starts, and that was just so exciting.
There you go. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Then, of course, there you are, London Palladium of all places to be.
I know.
Wizard of
With
Oz.
Michael Crawford and the stellar cast that we had, and people like Hannah Waddingham and Paul Keating, David Ganley, Edward Baker-Julie, people that I'd looked up to, as a student and listened to on soundtracks and been to visit myself. That I was sat in a rehearsal room with them, day one doing a read-through. It was crazy. It was unbelievable. Yeah.
But then it happened.
And
very
it
exciting. Very, very exciting. Shall we talk then, fast forward slightly to, of course, Les Miserables, but we should just remind people you're here you're here to talk about your upcoming gig, which we will go on to talk to in a moment. It's called An Evening with Danielle Hope, which is very exciting. But let's just touch briefly on Les Miserables, shall we? Of course, still one of the most popular musicals, and it's just still breaking records all over the place, and you're the chance to be happening. Which, to be honest, if I was a girl, which
one of those
I think about quite a lot, to be honest, it would have been the part I would have gone because it's just.
They should make it unisex.
Great.
Because I think
It's a great part. You love that show, don't you, Liz?
Oh, I love it. It's
that
beautiful.
part.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
There's a reason why it's still on. It touches so many different people, and I think everyone can relate to all the characters for very different reasons at very different stages of their life. And I've been gifted really because I got to sing one of the world's most famous songs, Somewhere Over the Rainbow, if not the most famous song, and then got given On My Own and Little Fall of Rain, and you just think, oh my goodness, when is this going to stop? I think someone's joking with me now, but Les Mis was one of the best years of my life. I met some of my best friends on that show, and got to work again with some amazing people, like Sierra Burgess being one of them. It was a really, really special time for me, and one of those shows I'd always, wanted to be in. And
this is the thing. I think what's particularly great for me about Eponine is that role. She goes on not every character has quite the amount of development actually. And she goes on such a journey in that show. And it's brilliant, isn't it? It's a lot of running around to do, and do you know what I mean? You get to move.
You get to kind of get in and get dirty with it and gritty, and I went from Dorothy with these incredible ruby slippers to being covered in filth and climbing the barricades and hitting the floor and hanging off things and like spitting at people. It was great. What a contrast.
Quite knackering though, I would have thought.
A little bit, yeah, but I found so much joy in that role, and it never stopped challenging me vocally, emotionally, characteristically, everything. There was always something new to be found every night.
And I think that's it. I think I saw that cast twice actually because I had friends that went, and there's something. I mean, it is remarkable. It's I think I'm 1 month older than Les Mis. It has to be said.
Oh, wow.
So there you go. It's a little fact I'll throw out there, listeners. So essentially, it's been around all my life, and actually, I still can't believe you go and see it. And what's brilliant about a new cast and changing the cast quite a lot is that it's just so fresh, and I think it has to be because it's the expectation the audiences have on it.
But it's impossible to replicate because we're all individuals and we all relate to the characters so individually that the moment you get on there and sing your interpretation, you don't have to try and make it different because you are different, and everyone's interpretation is fascinating and so exciting. I think when you get on with an understudy or someone new joins the cast, or I'm going to watch the new cast actually that start as of the 16th of July. My best friend Celinda is going back in as Fantine, and she was my Fantine. So so I can't wait to go and see it. You always feel like you're a part of that show, and you always will be.
Which is delightful.
It's lovely.
And your version of it on my own is just great. There's a rawness to it which I adore. Absolutely brilliant. So let's just bring us on to talk about. I love how. Can we just a round of applause to John Marvin, who's a producer? There he is. Thank you. John Marvin, welcome to Original Business. No, we have a vested interest with each other, don't we?
We do indeed. It's lovely to be here. Lovely to see you again.
That's more sort of it was. We used to work together years ago. The Parliament Victoria Theatre. Memories of it. Can you believe Wicked's still going? I mean, that's remarkable.
I know. It's so good. And I mean, it was great for us to just see Adina Menzel and the brilliant cast changes and night after night.
It really was. It was incredible. Not that he's working on it. Anyway, listen. Let's go back to. We are going to break with some music. Actually, that's very true. We'll tease the listeners very quickly before we do break on just what is. Just give us a little hint before we go into more detail. What is an evening with Danielle Hope, please? Is it burlesque?
No. Sadly not, no. But I know some people are aware that I do silks and trapeze, so I mean, if we can get them rigged up in the Delphont room, who knows. An evening with Danielle Hope, I've never had the opportunity to do a solo cabaret before. I never felt ready after doing the last 5 years, which practically feels like a one-woman show half the time. I thought, yeah, great, you know what, I feel like I've got something that I want to share, and I'm excited just to be singing some amazing music. I've had the gift of already, singing great stuff, and now to be able to share more that either inspired me, still inspires me, writers that people will know, like writers that are up and coming and good friends of mine. So I'm just really looking forward to sharing my experience with music with people.
Great, marvellous. Okay, we're going to talk some more with Danielle Hope. She's sticking around for a little bit, is that all right?
Oh, yes.
Listener questions on the way, as well as just talking a little bit, because one thing that always fascinates me about West End performers who go and do their own gigs is that almost all of the time they're petrified, because it's you being yourself, essentially. But what I like is there's fire in the belly, and she's clearly very excited. She can't wait to get started, which is lovely, and I'm sure Joel's very happy too. Danielle Hope still with us here on RadioGiblets.com. Let's break for some music, as Lucy said. Funny Girl is classic music on.
Lovely.
And Barbra Streisand can sing at my funeral for all I care, 'cause she's fabulous. Here, singing Don't Rain on My Parade is the one and only Barbra Streisand. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the programme. It's just, guys, I think I'm the only one. It's just gone 10 to 9. It's just about to go 10 to 9 on this Monday, the 2nd of June. We're live on the programme. Welcome back. I'm Johnny Bunyan.
And I'm Lucy Fawkes, and we've got a lot of listener questions for Danielle, so I think we should probably get cracking.
Yes, let's get cracking on and then we can discuss some more detail about the gig itself. So, Lucy Fawkes, who is I've got to say, it's so thrilling to have you live, because very rarely do our listeners get to ask the questions they want as it happens. It's very thrilling. Thank you.
It's very exciting.
Right, Lucy Fawkes, hit us with the first question.
Okay, so I'm going to start with a question from the Danielle Hope Forum, sorry. And they have asked, what's your most vivid memory of Over the Rainbow?
Oh, what's at the end of it?
My most vivid memory of Over the Rainbow, performance-wise, I would definitely have to go with Mambo Italiano, because that week I just had so much fun doing that song, and it just felt a lot more me, because I've been given quite heavy ballads and things, and I really wanted to dance and let go, and I think I just had so much fun that then that kind of like infected me for the whole like rest of the run, if you like. I think from there I was like, right, okay, I can just enjoy myself now, and I think probably because I turned 18 on the programme, so all the girls got dressed up in various costumes from different shows, and we had a nice little party in the Dorothy house, and I got a DVD from lots of West End casts saying happy birthday Danielle, which was so cool. I mean, you know.
I'd just say on Mambo Italiano, you're absolutely right in terms of me as a viewer. That really was where suddenly it was like you just the light switched on,
yeah,
and it was
I felt
just
like I was myself. I
also,
stopped stressing and just thought, right, just please enjoy yourself and breathe.
It's an amazing performance there. That was anyway. I've been told off. Continue.
Okay, next one. We have a question from Matilda Attic, and she has asked, which musical theatre character would you like to play, and why?
Oh, it's such a hard question, isn't it? Because there's so many, and I know people have heard me bang on about wanting to be Mary Poppins desperately, which is I do, of course. I think Natalie from Next to Normal is just one of those roles where I feel so connected to it, and it feels so relevant to my life and me that I'm just hoping and praying that it comes over, you know, to London at some point, or if I can do that, and if I don't, I would have to leave the country. I mean, you know, while it's on. But it's a great show, and it's a great role, and there's so many great characters. And again, there's only I think it's 5 people, 5 or 6, and really small cast. And I think small companies are really exciting and really challenging as well, because it's a whole new way of working.
Right. Marvellous.
Thank you. Just worth pointing out actually that Lena the Theatre Geek also asked the same question, so it's not that we're ignoring her, but she just wanted to know as well. And then we've also had a question from Dom Bernstein, who has asked, which musical theatre character are you most like?
Oh, well, most people will know that I kind of like Disney. I mean, I don't have a mug or a t-shirt or a plate or anything or any posters, but I'm a small Disney fan, so I kind of have to say I'm probably a little bit like Belle from Beauty and the Beast, even though Ariel is my ultimate Disney princess. I hate swimming underwater, so small problem there, but I think totally Belle. I was in Stratford-upon-Avon the other day, just walking around all the cottages, and all I wanted to do was burst into song. So sadly, I think I probably did, to be honest. So sadly, I am a Disney princess wannabe, if you like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I trust. I'm not even joking. I'm sure I heard a rumour somewhere that Beast of the Beast might be coming back in soon. I could be. I don't know. Producer? Anyone?
Fingers crossed.
No one knows.
No idea.
It'd be great though, wouldn't it? Because there's nothing else out apart from Lion King. There's no other Disney shows in town, which is madness, isn't it? Crazy. Anyway.
It is. Sorry, we've got more questions to get through.
Sorry,
None of this chit chat. Come on, we have to get through it all. The next question is from Rachel Ham, who has asked, "What's your favourite thing that's happened at Stage Door?"
Ooh.
My favourite thing that's happened at Stage Door, I have a very special memory of many of the Wizard of Oz Palladium Stage Door experiences, of so many young girls with ruby slippers and gingham dresses and with their parents, and I think the amazing thing about theatre is that, and I know this because I've been given this gift from many performers my entire life, is you leave a theatre inspired, you feel magic, anything, and to give that gift to someone is amazing, but to give the first theatre experience to someone, so that's the first time they've ever been in a theatre, they've ever watched a show, they've ever heard live singing, and just to have that feedback from those children and see how delighted and inspired they are, that's probably the best gift, I think.
Very true. Oh, well done.
Oh,
Yeah.
Johnny, you old softy.
You're lying down. Come on.
So Charlotte Shakespeare has asked, what is the most challenging and also the most rewarding thing about doing panto? And will you be doing panto again this year?
Okay. So, as most people know, this the last Christmas was my first panto experience, and what an experience it was. We were at the Birmingham Hippodrome. There was tons and tons of us in the cast, and it was 16 shows a week. I'd obviously never done 2 shows every single day. So the stamina you have is amazing. But I think if you're surrounded by good people, and I mean the people who came to the Birmingham Hippodrome as well to support us were just electric. It was mad. And the pleasure as well of having dressing room next door to Gok Wan and singing Disney songs through the wall at each other. He'll kill me for saying that. Yay, let's do it again. I think, that was probably the hardest thing, was just the schedule, but it was so rewarding, and I've never had so much fun, like on stage, backstage, because you're allowed to be a bit free with it, and you take off the audience. The first performance threw me a little bit, because usually the audience aren't that much involved with you, and when people are like heckling back, you're like, oh hello, oh yeah, of course. So I was a bit like, oh gosh, what's going on? But I had so many panto pros there to kind of guide me through. So after the first couple of shows I was like, okay, I'm getting this, I'm getting it. It was great fun, it was great Christmas.
Okay, so 2 more to go. So our second to last question is from Sean Nolan, and he's asked, what is the performer lifestyle like? Is it fun or is it scary?
Everything's got to be a little bit scary, because if it doesn't scare you, then it's not worth doing, and the adrenaline is such a great part of it.
So Mary Poppins, so just say that.
Yay!
That's the way you said that. You're into that. That sounds straight.
But it is hard work, and you're not always in work, and I think a lot of people don't see that, but that's a really important part to know and not be naive about that. But also don't let that scare you, because it's about what you do with the other bit of your time as well, and what you do. But it's an amazing, I can't even call it a job, it's an amazing profession, it's an amazing world to be in and to work in, and if you're happy doing it, then keep striving on, and just know that you're going to meet some crazy, interesting, amazing people, and you'll probably see a lot of, if you're lucky enough, places in the world that you never thought you'd see. I think the performer lifestyle is a hard-working one. It's not glamorous. You get to go and wear a nice dress every now and again, or you get to go to a cool event, but it is hard work. But I think that's where I find the joy in it, is sitting with the script or learning the song, and in the rehearsal room is probably the best bit of a whole production, and apart from the audience, not being there, and where the magic is discovered. And it's just great, and if it's what you want to do, you have to run at it head first, and if it's not, then that's also fine, and come and enjoy it, and just find your own way with it, I think, and no 2 paths are the same. Everyone finds it in their own way, and I think that's really important to remember.
Good advice. Okay, and finally another question from the Danielle Hope Forum, and they have asked, which songs will you be singing at your cabaret, and will you be doing more in the future?
Well,
I think we should ask the second part of that question to Joel.
Yes, no. The cabaret will feature some songs that I've sung before, and some songs that I've never had the opportunity to sing yet. I wanted a really nice, informal, really personal vibe at the cabaret. I've never felt ready to do one before, and I feel like I have enough things that I want to share and that I'd love to perform and do, and I've got some amazingly talented people joining me. I have Michael Riley, musical directing, who was musical director in the last 5 years, and there'll be things from Next to Normal, of course, possibly some things from the Over the Rainbow show, and just a really personal collection of songs that have inspired me over my life, songs that I have discovered as I've worked, and the people that I've met, and Jonathan Reed Gill is an amazing composer and a really good friend of mine, and I love his music, and I just think it would be a really nice evening to share something quite personal to me, to give people a window into what I like, and hopefully introduce some people to some new things as well.
I think what's lovely about that answer is because it's clear that, and obviously Joel would echo this, is that because a lot of these concerts, some people might wonder, you often wonder how involved are they? Do they just kind of turn up and sing the songs? But actually, what's clear is that obviously your name's above the bill. You're really getting involved there. It's very, very exciting. I ask this a lot to West End performers, as I said to you earlier, that do these sort of things, and one thing they always say is they always find it a bit terrifying because it's you being you. You seem to be just can't wait. I mean, is there something about this that you go, I've always dreamt of doing something that is my own night?
There is genuine terror under all this. I think I'm very, very excited, and I've just finalised the song that I'm singing in, and I've spent the whole weekend really giving this some thought and working it. So I think I only ever feel scared if I'm underprepared, and this is all so personal, and it's just me. It's not like just an evening of random songs that someone else has put in front of me and I've had to learn. This is things that I've grown up with, and I think it's hard because you get a script and you get a song and you get to be a character on stage, which is awesome. But when you have to be you, I think that's scary. But as long as you just are you and everything that you have, like nothing to prove, only to share, and that's how I feel with this. And I'm just coming in and sharing what I love.
It's going to be fabulous. It's going to be absolutely amazing. So you couldn't have told about this. Oh, could you, Joel? Brilliant. Live at the Delphont, an evening with Danielle Hope. It's the 26th. Just make sure it's right. 26th of June. And if you want to book tickets, head to the Delphont Macintosh website, delphontmacintosh.co.uk. It's probably the best way, Joel, isn't it?
That's it. That's great. We can go to the Prince of Wales box office in person as well. On the website, you can give us a call.
Anything.
Come and join in the fun.
Yes.
Really nice.
Thank you so much, Adib, for coming in. It's such a pleasure to see you.
Thank you. It's been so wonderful. Nice to chat.
Just a couple of things before we go. One, because you are fabulous, we'd like you to do something. Just because, apologies to the live listeners for this little moment, but all it is, we'll cut this out later, and we'll use you forevermore. That's okay. We'd like you to say, you're listening to radio. No, I'm Danielle Hope. You're listening to RadioGiblets.com. Simple as that. Okay. So this is a live trail, listeners. You're getting listen. Listen. Okay. So 3, 2, 1.
Also, now forget how to speak English.
Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Hey, I'm Danielle Hope, and you're listening to Radio Giblets.
Oh, we're going to get you to that again. RadioGiblets.com.
.com.
It's live. We'll do it one more time. It's okay. That's an outside. Okay. So 3, 2, 1.
Hey, this is Danielle Hope, and you're listening to RadioGiblets.com.
Amazing, brilliant.
Second try.
Such a star. Thank you so much, Indeed, for coming in. As I say, Delphont Rooms, an evening with Danielle Hope, followed of course by the fabulous Jana Riley on the 31st of July, and then the lovely Daniel Boys, 28th of August. We will be there waving our flags. We can't wait to be there. Thank you so much for coming in. Danielle Hope! Woo! There she is. What a star. It's lovely to have her here at our prestigious home of Joe Allen's restaurant. Right, we asked Danielle earlier on what song she'd like us to play. We couldn't find the first one she wanted, so we went with the second. Here from one of her favourite musicals, Next to Normal, is Just Another Day. Stay listening to RadioGiblets.com with me, Johnny Bunyan.
And me, Lucy Fawkes.